I'm gonna give you 2 tricks to spark a massive increase in your vertical jump, and we're gonna start right now. What's up, everybody? It's Dane Miller from GarageStrength.com, and if this is your first time to the channel and you're interested in being more explosive, running faster, being more athletic, and getting as strong as you possibly can, make sure you comment down below with whatever it is you're training for and that you like, and you subscribe, and make sure you ring that notification bell so that whenever we're releasing athletic, performance-based content, you get notified. So we get a lot of athletes that come through our doors who struggle with performing a vertical jump. They struggle with being more explosive. They struggle with learning how to utilize their strength and then increase their vertical jump, increase their jumping capability, be it off of a unilateral position, so off of one leg, or from a bilateral position off of 2 legs. And so this is something that we've seen regularly with athletes that come through our doors, specifically regarding high school athletes and collegiate athletes that start to gain a tremendous amount of strength, but they struggle to find that rapid rate of force development. And that's ultimately what we need to be working on if we're looking to increase our vertical jump, so that when we're getting tested, we can perform at our highest point. What we like to use is a trick known as contrast potentiation training. What this is we like to utilize a strength-based movement, and we like to couple it or superset it with a high rate of force development based movement, like a jump, a box jump, a hurdle hop, a stair jump, anything along these lines. So what we like to do is we want to use simple movements such as a back squat, such as a front squat, and we want to use them in an unbroken tempo. So we might do a double or a triple fast, 1, 2, 3 without breaking, and we're going to use those squats to potentiate our rate of force development when we get into that jumping drill. And so what this ends up doing is that as you do this over time, over 5, 6, 7 weeks, your body starts to recognize how to increase its twitch force. And when it increases its twitch force, now all of a sudden your rate of force development can increase and you're going to jump higher. But there's a few key aspects behind this, especially if we're dealing with strength athletes. We need to make sure that if we're gonna hit a back squat double, we rest 3 to 4 minutes. And then after that rest period of 3 to 4 minutes, then we get into that stair jump. And I like to use stair jumps especially when we're working with heavier athletes like offensive linemen, wrestlers that might be heavyweights, or shot putters, because stair jumps, there's a little bit less load on that eccentric landing. So it's a little bit easier on the body. Now, if we're gonna use front squats, it's the same thing. 1, 2, 3 reps rapid. We wanna focus on that really good trunk stability, and then we're gonna rest 3 to 4 minutes, and we might go do 2 to 4 hurdle hops sequence right in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4. But the key here that we've noticed is that you have to rest 3 to 4 minutes. We don't really see much of a positive response if we're going to be doing it on a much shorter rest period. If we're going to be doing this, it might be over 5 to 8 sets. You got that 3-minute rest period. You do those jumps. Now you're going to go back. You're going to rest 2 to 4 minutes, and we're going to get back into those back squats. But we need to make sure that when we're going from the strength movement to the jumping movement, we have that 3 to 4 minute rest period. Now, if you are an athlete or a coach or a parent who notices that your athletes struggle coming off of that unilateral position, we've got a trick for that as well. What we like to use is a single leg squat or a unsupported heel split squat. And so when we're using an unsupported heel split squat or a single leg squat, that will also potentiate coordination in the legs. It'll open up with mobility in the hips. It's going to target that posterior chain tremendously. And then we like to superset that with a unilateral jump. It might be something like what we call home hurdle hops. If we're doing home hurdle hops, it's going to help with coordination. It's going to help with the cycling position and getting through. If we are focused on potentially using a penetration step in wrestling, we like to utilize whiz jumps, which is a single leg jump up the steps. And that's another aspect behind utilizing contrast potentiation training, is that we can do a single leg squat and we want to do doubles or triples on each leg. That front foot might have an unsupported heel. We're going to rest 3 to 4 minutes. Then we're going to head into that unilateral jump. And now all of a sudden we have an athlete that typically might be weaker in a unilateral range that now over the span of 4 to 8 weeks, they can improve their coordination and ultimately jump higher and run faster because their vertical stiffness is going to be greater. Now we need to remember this takes time. We can't just go do it for 2 weeks and forget about it. If you're going to use contrast potentiation training, you've got to make sure that you periodize this properly and you figure out how you can utilize it over a long period of time, 8, 10 to 12 weeks, something like that. That's when you're going to start to really notice that big benefit. And that's what we use in the vertical jump manifesto. We periodize it specifically for this reason. And you can check that out in the link down in the description. If you want more sports performance-based information or more information based around the vertical jump, check out this video right here. Head over to GarageStrength.com, pick up that vertical jump manifesto. Peace.